some of his men
to go what happened.
Now we are
but
not
in any which case, the police was there before the governor came. The governor now came in and decided,
I don't know if the governor made the police there.
No, the police. It was because he heard that the police was there. That story said it. When upon the fact that the police went to our residence was why the governor went there. So the governor said, "Well, the police want you, but no, go with me to government house."
Well, I think I'm not. The picture is not very clear to me.
All right, let's go. We'll come round. Slowly, we'll allow the picture to settle.
That was.
Annie, first and foremost, let me start by saying that I commend the governor of Rivers State for being this proactive in safeguarding the life of that woman. Not just talking, but putting it in action. You see, I say this because, thank God you have said here that the police say they are inviting her for questioning. Why? Are they also inviting Akpabio for questioning? For a matter that is still being investigated by National Assembly and police...
We don't even know whether that is the matter. Hold on. We don't even know whether that is the matter that
no,
the
at
police
least
has invited her.
The news said that the reason is not unknown. That's from
the reason that is not unknown is as part the governor saying we will protect our own.
Yes.
So the reason why he was there obviously was because they had already issued out the statement.
Thank you. Let me make my speech. I'm saying
go ahead with your speech.
Yes. I'm saying that the governor has done the best that he would have done to any citizen of this River State that is being persecuted or prosecuted in that manner for now. You see, Joy Nune and Akpabio. I'm sure Joy had appeared earlier in that committee where she made some reports before this further revelations
came
today.
Up, yeah.
And this morning, police is invading her house for whatever reason that we may not know. And there is no better ear in River State that can hear more information than that of the office of the governor of River State. And the governor has said, the best I could do for now is to remove this woman to a safer place, being the government house. And remember, the government house across the whole country is just like the embassy of the state, where nothing easily goes in there. You can see even people who have committed serious crimes that we are hidden in government house, and that was the end of the matter today. But in this particular circumstance,
is that what we're doing now?
No, that is not what we are doing. Are we shielding
her from being prosecuted?
The governor even made a statement sometimes and said, "I'm not shielding her from coming up to or stopping her from being prosecuted if she has committed an offense." But the governor is saying that nothing should harm the woman because she's trying to say what has happened in course of his duties as acting NDDC chairman. Now, my concern this morning is, why must her house be invaded? If she has any reason to explain anything to the police, they would have invited her through a letter or through any other means than invading her house that manner. So the governor has done the best by coming to remove her from her immediate home to government house. You remember that it is easier.
So how does she get to go to the police now?
Of course, there will be more communication from now. If the police actually need her, there should be a warrant. There should be the normal process of inviting somebody. Joy is a public figure. It's not a common criminal that you just go and whisk her away from the road.
I don't think they were whisking. I think they went to her house maybe to take her there. I mean, we saw that happen with Mago, right? Mago was on his way somewhere where they stopped.
Did they invite Mago? They stopped Mago on the way.
That's what I'm saying. We saw that happen with Mago. So maybe they also went to her house to say, "You've got to follow us to the police station. We have issues we need to talk about."
And this is an issue that is involving two persons, Joy and Akpabio. And we are here to hear that police have invaded Akpabio's home to also call him for questioning.
That's what I said. Do we know whether what the police need her for has to do with the issue between her and Akpabio?
Yeah, whatever be the case, Joy was supposed to be invited to be in National Assembly today for the committee, and for whatever reason, before he could even prepare to leave Abuja, police already in her house, which means there are some other things that will have come up. And the governor have said, for the interest of what I have said earlier, that nothing should happen to this woman, and I have every right to protect this woman. I'm going to take her to government house for further protection.
In protecting, does that mean you're usurping justice?
No, now that is not what we are saying now. In course of maybe between today, tomorrow, next tomorrow, then the governor would have been clear enough why police should invade her house. Right, if there's any criminal matter against Joy, then Joy will go and answer and then answer the police.
All right, we got your thoughts there, Chief Lofty. Dr. Warner?
Yeah, for me, I don't know what the governor is suspecting and what probably will be his interest because, like he said, the Joy is the daughter of River State. And my question is, how many daughters do we have in River State here? And how many of them have been protected the way the governor seems to be protecting Joy? I think that's a question I need to get an answer. And
sons and daughters.
Yeah, sons and daughters, exactly. How many of our River State sons and daughters have been protected like that? I mean, how about if at the end of the day, maybe Joy being found your governor and the entire River State people? You see, we need to be very careful. You see, that's why when you look at some things some politicians do, you know, you don't just look at it and immediately they have what. It's not the person they are doing. It's not what they are saying. They have a foresight, looking at what they will get at the end of the exercise. Be that as it may and as it may, I want to also believe that today is the day that Joy is supposed to appear before the panel. And I want to believe that she has been expressly communicated, either through writing or by whatever communication means. And I want to believe that she is aware that is going to appear before the panel today.
The police invaded her.
So why the police? Why would police invade the house of a lady who has not even resisted, like Chief said? Yeah, she has appeared. I remember she appeared in one of those panels. She didn't resist any invitation. Yes. Today, it has not come and gone past. She has not resisted any. So why? What is the police? It's not as if you are sending one or two policemen. You have a
pool of
policemen coming to her house.
Where did you get the pool of this story?
Okay, I don't know how many of them.
I just want to confirm something.
Chief just lent me that word now.
Yes,
and I quickly took it too.
I just wanted to find out. Is it the same story?
And I want to believe they are not just two policemen.
Yes,
they are more than
correct.
that.
Yes,
exactly. So why? What's the essence of that? It's not justified at all. You see, sometimes, like I said here before, sometimes when we do the right thing, we'll do it through the wrong way. If somebody resists invitation or arrest, then you can take extra measures.
Exactly.
I have heard in the news where the Senate has invited somebody almost 4 or 5 times.
Yes.
He or she did not appear. And they're saying, this last one, we're giving you another 2 weeks. They are all Nigerians.
Mm-hmm. They are
all Nigerians, yes. The custom man, there's one other man recently too.
The DJ of custom.
So why would this one be different? Somebody who has not even resisted the invitation for the first time.
I keep saying that we don't know whether this invitation by the police has anything to do with the ongoing investigations by the National Assembly Joint Committee on Niger Delta Affairs, investigating the activities of the NDDC.
Granted.
We don't know. I didn't get that from the story I just read, that it has any link to it. Yes, we know she has been in the news of recent because of these issues. But why the police was at her residence this morning has not been communicated. Like we said, we tried to reach across to the police command PR or to even ascertain that the police was there this morning to pick her up. And from that, understand for what reasons. But we've been unable to do that. Okay. What we do know for sure is that the police was there this morning to invite her or to pick her up. And the River State governor came in just in time to protect his daughter.
Yes.
Annie, granted
by whisking her.
Granted, but not
state
Annie,
house.
Granted, but not granted that there may be another reason why she has to go to the police station. The normal thing is that you have maybe a policeman or two to say, go to the house of this person, invite her. I'm sure that if it would have been 1 or 2 policemen that were sent to her house,
like I asked,
she would have, like any other Nigerian, any other citizen.
If there was a truck that had gone to her residence, I don't see how that is being too much. If a truck of policemen had gone there,
Annie.
No, I don't see how that would be too much.
That's intimidating now.
Why was that intimidating?
It's just like if you want to arrest somebody now, you go to Minokoro police station or Moko police station. and pack all the just to arrest one person.
No, let's look at it that maybe they want to.
That's more than misbehavior.
Hold on, if they want to pick up or invite the minister now, the minister of Niger, one or two policemen will just stroll to him and say, "We're invited. We want you to come along with us."
Warrant of arrest now.
Warrant of arrest.
No, you're actually
Will you just
don't
go
know
with
that,
the
what,
truck of...
that it has to do with the personality involved too.
No.
Yes.
Honey, I think we are getting it wrong.
No, we're
here.
not getting it wrong.
No, because
if it was someone
under
like
normal
Annie,
procedure.
maybe a constable self that.
No, Annie, that's the wrong thing we need to correct in our society.
We're not correcting it today. Or correcting it now.
Oh, Jesus me.
It is something that is already the norm. So you're trying to have
that
a difference to it.
It's not acceptable. It's when you practice
you can
something abnormally
it is what
over a period of time, it appears to be a norm.
You can condemn it, yes, but it is what is obtainable now.
Yeah, that's what I'm condemning. And we must face the reality. If as a citizen of this country, no matter your position, and you have police wants to arrest you, a police officer goes to you and issues you a warrant of arrest.
All right. Well,
and you have to, it is when you are resisting arrest that they can.
Much. We don't know about the resistance. We don't know that she's been invited before. All we know was they were there this morning and were ready to whisk her away until we got our governor who came to defend. Well, sources say Joy Nune has been invited.
Was going to reach me. The CP did. So I asked if that was the CP. And they said yes. I said, should I come down? Fortunately, I was just wise enough. I stayed by the door. As they wanted to grab me, I just banged my door. You can't come in from the front. So I now locked the front door. I called my governor to tell my governor that this is what had happened. He said, no, I should not go anywhere, that he was on his way. Quickly, he had a shower, called me. They started trying to break down the door. Of course, it was a security door. They spent 1 hour trying to break down. They had 4 doors anyway to break through. So the governor, they said they didn't have any. I said, I can't go without you. I know you're a policeman. I need to see the warrant. Well, no, I'm not in Banana Republic. I need to see the warrant. As they wanted to come for me, I banged it. So my governor came and sent them out. I really don't know what to say, but my governor is a man. He's a man. And he didn't just speak the day before yesterday that nothing must happen to me. He came to my rescue. I want to say thank you very much.
All right, I'll just play that again for those who didn't catch up with what she said.
Senator Magnus Abe called me after a while to say the Commissioner of Police, River, said he didn't really know about it, and that the CP was going to reach me. The CP did reach me and said he wasn't aware of what was going on. He asked that I send him the address, so I did, and then I saw the cars come in. So I asked if that was the CP, and they said yes. I said, should I come down? Fortunately, I was just wise enough. I stayed by the door. As they wanted to grab me, I just banged my door. You can't come in from the front. So I now locked the front door. I called my governor to tell my governor that this is what had happened. He said, no, I should not go anywhere, that he was on his way. Quickly, he had a shower, called me. They started trying to break down the door. Of course, it was a security door. They spent 1 hour trying to break down. They had 4 doors anyway to break through. So the governor now came. Before, when I came, I said, where's the warrant of arrest? They said they didn't have any. I said, I can't go without you. I know you're a policeman. I need to see the warrant. Well, no, I'm not in Banana Republic. I need to see the warrant. As they wanted to come for me, I banged it. So my governor came.
And not for relate with you on that. And then when she shuts her door, you're breaking the door.
And you can with pull of vehicles.
You're breaking the door.
Has come up again.
Yes.
The pull of vehicles. You're breaking the door. I would think that each assembly today to testify.
Not an armed robber, not a kidnapped suspect. I don't understand this. So why would they? We will hear from the police much later. But whatever it is, I think it's a very bad move that they made there. And
I mean, remember the time of the judges? The governor is very proactive in this.
If the governor didn't go there himself, it wouldn't have had the same effect. They would probably in this instance, one cannot but commend the governor for this. Now, what it would mean is that Joy is safe. The police should know where she is. If they want her, they can officially, through the governor, he will provide her for whatever, and then everybody's heart will be at peace that truly her safety is now guaranteed. Because if you're taking her from the governor, of course, he would know that this is the police that has taken her for whatever reason, and then probably it is the best thing that has happened to Joyce's safety and safety for now. And of course, it's good. We're really happy that it ended this way. Who knows where? And it's been noted here. This is a woman who already has an appointment with the committee
today. It was her turn to testify.
So, what is the crime that she may have committed that cannot wait for her to go and do that? And then the next thing you want to take her, arrest her and put her away, so as to jeopardize that investigation? It won't happen. Whoever is planning this will not succeed.
Right.
That investigation that is going on at the Senate or at the will go on.
The testimony she needed to give today
will go on. The Niger Delta people want to see that case to the end. We want to hear everything and see everything.
All right, we got your thoughts there.
But the two persons involved, Niger Delta.
We're going to disown them.
I want to thank the governor for being very proactive. And I try to make certain suggestions. Thank God the woman now spoke to Nigerians through the audio that we all had here. And that have saved all of us all the headache that would have been arguing front and back, whether there was whether the people were police, whether she was resisting arrest or whatever. So she has explained it, and it is something that should be condemned by all Nigerians. Even as common as I am, police do not have a right to come and whisk me away like a common criminal without inviting me. I did not rob anybody. I did not commit rape. I did not commit any serious. I did not commit murder. Maybe I had
but
some.
If you're accused of it,
they will write me and say you have been invited by the police.
Which was why the initial stance was we do not know why they wanted her.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to explain. That this voice, this audio has saved us those headache. And again, I want to concur completely with the statement of Opaka that if what they have tried to do this morning is to try to intimidate this woman, stop her from coming to testify to National Assembly over the missing 81 billion within 6 months in NDDC, they have failed. In recent time, we have had where political parties and other agencies have been holding meetings through Zoom. Is it Zoom? They should speak to this woman through Zoom in government house to testify to the committee, so that the woman will explain to Nigerians what she knows about her stories in NDDC. You see, because these are ways that we have been, trying to cut off justice. That people will just do anything they like, and at the end of the day, they get away with it. So, Governor Mike, having done this, irrespective of the fact that Joy Nune is not a member of PDP, she's even, I'm sure, a member of APC, having gotten that appointment. And Governor Wike have just done this to save the life of a Rivers daughter. The life of a Rivers daughter. I think the governor, I want to commend him this morning for doing this. And I want to say that if because of the altercations or everything that is happening in NDDC is the reason why, I said if.
Okay.
If it is the reason why, whatever that is applicable to Joy should also be applicable to
let's get to Dr. Warner real quickly so we can get our listeners.
Yes, and before I was just trying to let you know that that was out of place for you to have a truck of policemen just to come and effect arrest. It's out of place, and I want to thank God that from her account it has become very, very obvious what transpired there. You see, I've been talking about due process here since morning here on this platform. And I know that due process is one of the principles of rule of law. And there is no how you can guarantee, a good governance, justice and equity when you brush aside the concept of rule of law, which of course, includes due process. For somebody to be arrested, a citizen, we have these procedures. I mean, why would a truck of policemen come to your house to whisk you away without a warrant of arrest? which means there's a sinister motive behind that. There's an ulterior motive, which of course goes contrary to your fundamental human rights. The process leading to justice must be verified, must be a very justifiable process. Otherwise, it will lead to miscarriage of justice. I'm just saying that we thank God that governor intervened. And I want to thank God, governor for that. And also appeal that this also should be extended to every son and daughters of Rivers State. Everybody, not just
that is if you have the number of the governor.
Not just you see,
call him.
If she didn't have, like those of us who don't have the governor.
Maybe we should announce that the number should be made public.
Yes, of course, he's our governor. He's our governor. We are supposed to have access to him. If not for the
you
contact.
might not have access to him, but you have access to his.
That's whatever means, directly or indirectly.
You have access to
directly or indirectly. Joy had his own directly.
Well,
she didn't need to pass through anybody. You see, that's what it means. If you have a leader who responds to certain, stressed conditions, then you must be proud of that kind of leader. But I'm saying that it should be extended to everybody. Be that as it may. You see, the police need to understand something. I don't know whether they are doing this
I'm wondering who gave the directive.
Exactly.
Who gave the directive?
Who gave the directive? Is it that somebody will just wake up one morning and say, look, let's do this, and it is done the way they want it? I mean, there's a hierarchy in police. There's authority.
No, but she said the CP asked of her address.
Well, if I ask her address, it's not very sure that it because CP asks of her address. That's why.
And in a matter of hours, something like this is happening. The police is there.
You cannot verify that for now. Cannot verify. They can't leave that directly. But the
coincidence is very.
Yeah, very, very.
Very tight.
Very tight.
Yes.
But
then,
we
like
can
you
also
said,
air of finality.
also say it. Yes,
exactly.
It doesn't have an air of finality to it. Maybe he mentioned, she lives in this area, and then that person answered, aha, now we know where to get her. Well, you see, it is important we know who gave that order.
Exactly.
Because once you find who gave the order, you find why. Because the why now will verify if there was any need to stop her from this testification that she was about to do. Because I think that like we mentioned earlier when we mentioned the issue between Akpabio and Nune, we said we don't want to take our eyes off the ball. We want to remain on the issue itself. We don't want to care whether there's a harassment or can we just forget that and find out who stole what and how and with whom this stealing was done, so that we can get the monies that rightly belong to the Niger Deltans and then use it to administer what we prefer. Somebody somewhere obviously doesn't want that to happen.
Exactly. That's what is happening now. They want to cover up all those atrocities. And I will join my brothers here in the studio that nothing should stop the revelation. All those secret things should be divulged to the public. We get to know who our enemies are in this matter. And I also want to add that those police officers, if they are actually police officers, who broke those doors should be made to pay and replace them.
All right.
They must replace the doors broken. Enough of this nonsense.
Did you notice the government?
I've hit the government.
True. We need to get the secret of all these.
Let's get to our listeners. Thank you very much. We're wrapping up on that. It is time for our dear listeners to be part of the conversation. Of course, for Real Talk, we looked at the issue between Joy Nune, the police officers, and the governor. It was breaking news, but this is eventually what we have run with as our real talk. We have the fact that Nune also spoke from Government House, says, look, this is what happened. I gave my home address to the CP, and the next thing I know, there were vans of pool vans.
That's the word you use.
From the police storming my residence, and they were trying to take me forcefully. She had to place a call to the governor, who came himself and rescued her from these men. Of course, we're yet to understand who gave the directive and for what reasons. What we do know was that she was supposed to be before the panel this morning, the investigative panel this morning that has been looking at the actions of NDDC, where she was supposed to testify today. Is this any reason why anybody will want to stop her? Maybe, maybe not. We're yet to find out. But this is what we do have as a breaking news this morning on that segment. And then for opinion poll, we looked at Mago, who says, you know what's going on is dog eat dog. As much as we need to rise above the occasion and support the president in his fight against corruption, know it that this is part of the job hazards in for being chairman of EFCC. There will be people who will come after you. We looked at it. We looked at the viability of the panel itself and whether it will have just been better to cut the timing and proceeded straight to court, since Malami, of course, is the one prosecuting, so to say, in this case, or laying the allegations in this case. We'd like to get your thoughts on that too. So the numbers to send your thoughts to are 07019339962 as text message or WhatsApp messages, 07019339962, or call 081700000951 or 0810951091 studio lines, and we can have a conversation. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good morning.
Annie, good morning.
Morning, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Mr. Bright from Rumibo.
Mr. Bright from Rumibo, go ahead.
Yes, let me briefly touch on the joining issue that is developing. She's supposed to be at Abuja. She's supposed to appear at the investigating panel this morning, right?
Yes.
And that panel is not, the sitting is not done virtual. They are sitting at the...
Yeah, I guess you'll have left for the airport this morning.
Yeah, so she was supposed to appear this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Could she have met up if she had left Port Harcourt this morning? What time was she giving?
No, it was not.
45 minutes flight.
Yeah, she could have met up.
Okay, that's in my fear, because sometimes we have politicians who are very highly technically inclined that they could stage manage things. Ordinarily, somebody who has a session in Abuja this morning should have been there yesterday with his lawyers.
It's not true.
It is true.
No, hold on, that's his opinion.
Anybody who is supposed to appear before the National Assembly this morning, leaving Port Harcourt this morning with this.
The smarter thing to do will be to be there since yesterday. I agree.
And that is what they do. But let's leave it at that. The story is still developing. On the issue of Margot saying dog eat dog, I was not comfortable with the analysis you people get there. According to Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary, the 7th edition, a case of dog eat dog is an idiomatic expression which means a situation in business and politics. Let's take notice of that, politics, where there is a lot of competition and people are willing to harm each other in order to succeed. And Cambridge Dictionary puts it that it's an...
Please, what are you uncomfortable with? Let's just get to it. We've got your interpretation.
What I'm uncomfortable with is the kind of speculative and mischievous analysis your guests are giving. It's a simple thing. What Magu used that expression to establish is that these are just what can happen in a situation where you have people of coordinate offices or different offices trying to prove themselves.
Is it different from what we are saying?
Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Professor. For
is it different from what we are saying here?
Hey,
Professor,
easy. Calm down.
Can you say it's mischievous?
He called us mischievous.
I wonder.
He said the interpretation was mischievous.
It's a simple expression that has one meaning. It doesn't have 200 meanings. It only has one meaning.
All right.
It's a meaning where people are competing to do another person.
I think we did.
That's exactly what we said.
We did get to that point.
No,
we said so.
People said. It's not what people said. I listened.
Oh, dear me.
It's not what people said.
We said so. I'm sorry if you did not hear. I'm sorry if you didn't get to hear that part. But we did say so. We did say it was an idiomatic expression. We mentioned that it is a situation where there is an intense competition.
Exactly.
And you're scrambling to get ahead the other. You can do that in any means whatsoever. I've known that idiomatic expression since I was young, so I don't think at this age I'll be messing it up. So we did mention it here. I know that we had guests who were trying to look at it literally and say dog and eat and situation and jackal and hyena. But then we referred, we went back and referred to what the original meaning is, which is it is an idiomatic expression. Exactly. So if you missed that part out in the conversation, I'm sorry, you didn't hear correctly. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good morning.
Hello, Annie.
Yeah, hello. Good to have you. Good morning.
Morning. Good morning, Chief in the crew and the guests in the studio.
Is it morning? Yes.
Yeah. Annie, you see, I would have given George Newman degree in lying. But the woman don't know how to put things together. And I'm so surprised that your guests in the studio will want to paint white into black. It is very shameful that we will driven truth away and begin to make lie become truth. Now, police commissioner have bad intention towards her arrest, of which the last caller just said he's supposed to be in Abuja as of yesterday to answer questions. If she is not resisting that, and the police commissioner have bad intention, why did...
Thank God.
Sam, please call back again. This year says, Annie and the guest, what you people heard was from her. Annie, I think you should have heard from the police before bringing this issue on air. I'm Love Day. All right, Love Day. It doesn't happen with breaking news. Breaking news, as it's happening, you carry the story. You're not waiting till you're here. And like we did say, we tried to reach out to the PRO to confirm that the police indeed wanted to pick her up. We said we're unable to do that. It doesn't mean that you stole the story. Good morning. So they're saying that Magu should not be investigated before charged to court. Why would he? What will be used to nail Magu without investigation? This is from John Ox. He says, of course, that he believes that there should be an investigation before court processes. Remember that we also have men in police uniform, so the governor is wise. Reverend I.E. Nwagu from Rumekwe, you sent that in. Thank you. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good morning, yeah?
Good morning, Annie.
Good morning. What's your name?
Yes, my name is Sahusi Chima. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Sahusi Chima, good to have you. Go ahead.
Yes, Annie, I think the police did not act well by going there without a warrant of arrest. You understand? How it's supposed to be. You have to go there with warrant of arrest or invite her. But barging into her house, it is wrong. Now, having said that, my misgiving also is I don't know the interest of the governor about this Nune. I believe some things will unfold when time comes. Why governor is so concerned? Because we have so many river people who have actually have been passing through one challenge or the other when it has to do with the police. The governor has never come out and said anything. You understand? We are yet to discover that interest of the governor. And let me say also quickly, I think a law is respecter of nobody. You understand? The symbol of justice is said categorically that look, law does not see whether you are the daughter of River State or not, so long as Joy is capable. You understand? As long as Joy is capable of whatever offense that she has committed, because NDDC has brought nothing but disaster to Niger Delta. If she happens to be one of them who have stolen, you understand, from NDDC, I think the law must take it.
Yeah, but that the state government did mention that they don't want anything to truncate the processes. And should anybody be found guilty, the person, of course, will have to serve the terms. They did say that they're doing this to protect her from being found guilty or being prosecuted. Just to make sure that no harm comes to her while the investigations are ongoing.
Yes. So justice must prevail. Either the governor carry her in his bulletproof car or not. I think if Joy has stolen a cover, you understand? We heard that NDDC spent about 81 billion naira from January to May.
Yes.
And governor will be there. Okay. Let us see.
All right, we got your thoughts. Thank you very much. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. What's your name?
My name is Comrade James Jones. I'm calling from Okeka.
All right, good to have you.
Annie, let me first of all tell all the people that in the field I'm so disappointed because today they have lost voice. If any APC governor would have done this, they would have said this is attacking the constitutional mandate of institutions. But today they have seen some of them say they don't understand. The other one thing is proactive. The other one thing is still studying the action. But let me tell you the simple truth. The governor has shown us that he's selective to his own proactive. Today, 6 permanent secretaries have been sacked. a competent court of decision, ask the governor to pay them and reinstate them. These are Rivers people who understand that they must eat and live. This human life is important for against one person's life. We have Rivers State students who have been for 5 years now, no bonds have been paid. The government does not proactive show interest on their welfare. We have people who have lost their job from Rivers State Sustainable Development Agency. The court have insisted, pay them and restart either compensation or settle them out of court settlement. The governor has refused. But just because of the interest of the governor in NDDC, the governor have not told Rivers what his interest is. But for me, as I'm telling those students, I'm going to be their father. The Rivers State student, I'm going to be their father. Sometimes I'm going to be their father. They don't come to me. I will protect their interest. If the governor started to sue, where to protect interest on a list who are not even crying for 1 naira. The woman was invited since yesterday. What is she sitting in Port Harcourt? She would have been in Abuja since yesterday if she has a good intention to go and show what investment she has or any accusation level against her. She would have been in Abuja since yesterday, but she refused. The governor with her will continue to play. In fact, thank God they are fighting themselves because the fight is to fight Messi. Now he has thought against.
Oh, dear me. All right, then we got your thoughts here. Thank you very much. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
This is Akanimo.
All right, go ahead, Akanimo.
I want to say concerning this matter of Joy. This is step 2 of the matter. Step 1 was the governor said that nothing should happen to this woman. I think that was yesterday. And today, something has happened. See, I don't want to just condemn the both sides. First of all, I also thank governor by saving her as others. Thanking governor. But let's all look at it this way. Don't you think that if they think that the other side are planned for this thing not to work, can't you also think that this side can also plan? It can be both sides. Because as the first caller said, by a truth, a matter like this, the person is supposed to be
hello
to prepare for today. Even somebody want to attend wedding in Abuja, you will let yesterday, and then matter like this. We are waiting to see the end of all this.
All right then. Indeed, we are waiting to see the end of all of this. Thank you so much for calling on the show. The numbers to dial are 0810-951-0951. Don't forget that you can send text messages to 070-1933-9962. Hello.
Good morning, Annie.
Yes, good morning. What's your name?
Good morning, I guess, in the studio.
Thank you. Good morning.
This is Prince O, a.k.a. Truth Peter.
Go ahead, please.
My personal community. Annie, it's very unfortunate in this country that somebody like Michael, who used to take court order and kill somebody for 60 days or 120 days, needs to stay in detention for 9 days. And there was no something tangible, no investigation for releasing Michael. I wonder how this country will take this country that we are. That Michael knowing the protocol and the procedure of alleging, knowing that the investigation should take place before he is released, even by court order, so that is not released. Michael just left home and meet with his family. It's a very shameful thing. Now, dog to dog, means that all of us are partners in crime. So if we are partners in crime, why should they enforce my own? Why I have the other account? But Michael...
No, Michael is not saying he's part of them. He's saying the situation. No.
I don't get this one. I want you to say something.
If you're going to be yelling, I'll stop you from saying something.
Okay, Maya. I have brought the man for serving this one. If this one are weak, you are away. I didn't know I'm known policeman. I'm not someone telling you that's supposed to be Abuja as a flight. There's a flight going 45 minutes from Port Harcourt to Abuja. So why was it did I give a place to stay or you don't stay in their father's house? Like who's telling you you're supposed to make it? Maybe the Paris APC Gambino members cannot help this situation and Nigeria cannot forward on the nepotism and aggravation that is leading this country to hell. A referendum should be the answer and let them do the thing the right way.
Please, when next you call the station, you don't need to shout. Just state what you need to state. Because no, if he's angry, he's told to check himself. He's talking to a whole lot of people. We're not looking for people yelling at us. We're looking at people who are talking with us. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Annie.
Yeah, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is OBI. I'm calling you from Port Harcourt.
OBI, great to have you. Go ahead.
Okay, Annie, please, first of all, I want to react to this Mago issue.
Yes, please.
Annie, the truth about the matter is, I told somebody that whatever has happened to Mago today would yield no better results for Nigeria. Because the only reason why this is happening to Mago now is because he had disagreement with the Attorney General.
That's all.
And that is all. The issue of Maggie's allegation was there a long time ago. The 8th Assembly. It was there. And the president behaved as if he wasn't aware of what is happening and kept him underacting. Just simply because he had a disagreement with the Attorney General. And look at it now. Much more is still coming. I am among those people who believe that the president is very much corrupt. I don't care what anybody thinks about it because, for me, under your watch, terrible things are happening. And somebody said the president is not corrupt. How could you say such thing? Let me digress a bit, Annie. The president happens to be the Minister of Petroleum. I can bet you that the president have not opened the NFPC book since he entered. You remove the category who was qualified, put in another person, put him as a spare tire, and you still remain the Minister of Petroleum when you know you have a lot of things in your hands. And this, okay, let me ask a question. Since he became the Minister of Petroleum, has anything different happened from what was happening before? That's a part. Let's go to John Nune's issue. Annie, John Nune was supposed to be in Abuja this morning. Quite correct. I don't know the reason the police have. Even if the police have any other reason to invite her, must it be today that she is supposed to appear before the committee?
Bless you.
And these people cannot be fooling us now. I don't understand how. Do we leave this country and go to another place? Why would they be treating us as if we are all fools?
All right, then.
And we understand that John Nune's life is at stake. I tell you, they think they would have told you that men in police uniform came and whisked her away, and nobody will know. Remember, he is dealing with a high profile person.
Okay,
like you.
we got your thoughts on that. Thank you very much. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Ahmed. This is Eddie calling from Port Harcourt.
Great to have you. Go ahead.
Yes, John Nune issue. I really don't want to call, but I wanted to make some expressions. Is the police in Rivers State answerable to the ICC or to the Commissioner of Police? It's not the Commissioner of Police. And the Commissioner of Police is answerable to who? The governor. Why is it that the governor is not aware of the police going to the house of this woman earlier time until when the woman called? Is it that the reinstation of the Commissioner of Police during the lockdown is indication that those in Abuja is the one is answerable to that the call will come from Abuja and he will be able to give the men order to go and arrest a woman that's supposed, even if it's 2 minutes, as far as you can meet up to today's appointment with them. Does not matter whether you went there yesterday or not. But the issue of intimidation and harassment from the policemen and whatever, because people can disguise themselves and form a policeman and go and pick up somebody and murder that is how the matter will die. And nobody will question anybody. So for me, the issue of this country, things are going wrong, actually. Both the head and the tail, they are all rotted. And this is the high time we take it serious. We need to save if we are to save the country.
We got your thoughts. Let me take one more call. Thank you. We got yours. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good morning.
Hello, Ade.
Hi, D. Good morning. Good to have you.
Good morning. I'm now alone to come about that. Good morning.
Good morning.
Ade, just a brief. I'm the one that sent that message. I was in a horrific mood at that time.
Which message?
The one you read last week or so.
Oh, okay.
I was in a very horrible mood.
It's all right.
Anne, on the issue of Joy Nune, it's very sad the way our policemen are behaving. And Mr. President, I'm just directing this my speech to you. Don't allow any appointee of you to use your platform to disorganize Nigerians? It's very obvious. This same person called Akpabio, former governor of Akwa Ibom State, all fingers were pointed at Akpabio of using the then DSS boss to invade the National House of Assembly. Up to this very moment, that allegation has not been cleared. Now, join immunity with Akpabio again. What we are seeing is the Nigerian security personnel coming to arrest Joy Nunez. Please, Mr. President, call Mr. Akpabio to order, or else you will use Akpabio to disintegrate Nigeria. Thank you.
All right, then. Thank you very much. I'll read a few text messages. This here says, remember that we also have men in police uniform, so the governor is wise. I read that earlier. Pastor Ikem Jika says, I will agree with Mago. It's unfortunate. Let Malami get ready to prove. Another here says, if only the governor had gone to Chima's prison, the Ikoku 4, and break the prison for him to come out, today the guy would have been alive. Well, he did it. Ernest from Woji. Dog eat dog implies that corruption is fighting corruption. That is what Mago means. Jewish Dan, he sent that in from Village Gate. And good morning, Annie and the guest. My name is Okudiri from Pataka. The EFCC chairman is facing the challenge because his godfather is no longer in charge. Annie dog eat dog. There's another one in our local palace. Hausa, no, they kill Fulani. Now we Nigeria, we hail the which way? I don't know what you're saying, Kings. Also, Annie, good morning. On the issue of Joy Nune, I believe that those people are not policemen because from what the woman said, she was preparing to go to Abuja this morning with the first flight to answer some questions. So why would the police go to her house to arrest her in that kind of time? Which means that someone does not want her to expose some certain things. Let the matter be investigated well. Also remember that Akpabio said that she was not removed from office because of corruption. So Joy has more revelations to make. That's why they went to her house to kidnap her. I'm hoping that, while the governor went there, that some of the officials, the police officials they were also taken along, so that we can, for that, we don't want to hear later that police commander say we don't know the men that went there.
The men that went.
We don't know them.
So I hope they took some along so that, we'll find out where you're coming from for real.
That should have been the real thing. But then, if those men resist,
how will they resist? Would the governor have gone there without? Would the governor have gone there without his
police officers?
Would the governor have gone there without his own details?
If they're able to properly identify themselves as police officers,
I'm
not sure they will. You
That's
you
what I'm
will
saying.
not arrest
Except
any of
if
them.
they have properly identified themselves, and the governor knows that you came from here and had ascertained that from there. So because I know that much later issues of this
will be
come
denial.
up. We don't know we didn't send them. We don't know who they are, and we don't want that kind of conclusion. So let's find out who you are from. So I'm hoping that this is something the governor did while he was there. So we know you came from this unit, and then you inquired. Okay, good. We'll find out why you came here.
Exactly.
Annie and all the guest Rivers people should thank God and the governor for rescuing her in Nigeria. They could do the following. 1, they could set fire in the complete building to kill evidence. 2, they can kill her to kill evidence. And 3, they can pick her to dodge the evidence. Joseph Owo, you send that in from Port Harcourt. Good day, Annie. As for dog eat dog, it's like the case of pot calling kettle black. As for the case of Miss Joy, I see it as a well-planned arrangement for cheap political points. This is just my opinion. This is FB from Port Harcourt. Yes, someone did mention it's possible that all this is done just state managed. We've got to say that you're under threat. So let's do something. Let's rouse the issue. Then you're under threat, even though we know you're not. It's possible. In Nigeria, anything goes. Annie, good morning. I think Governor Wike should be commended for being proactive to save Mrs. Joy. Mecca, you send that from Oibo. Can anybody truly have a job interview in Abuja today and stay in Port Harcourt till today? Yes. What about delayed flights and other unforeseen delays? We must hear from the police before believing Joy's story. This is from Ima. And then Annie, the love affairs and oath-taking between Akpabio and Joy Nunez should be set aside, and Joy should be called upon to give account of her stewardship while Akpabio gives how NDDC spent 85 billion in 5 months. This is from Frank, which is what we're hoping that will have been done today. Yes. Hi, Annie. Magu couldn't have been taken to court right away without the presidential investigation because of the sensitive post he held. The investigative committee serves as a stopgap arrangement to hear first from Magu to know if he would say anything incriminating against the powers that be so that it could be handled in-house. This is from DK. Annie, I am Yinka Ajip Port Harcourt, our politicians are pretenders that deceive us. Time will tell. And another here says, Mrs. Annie, Emmanuel Akpabio is my name. Let it be no argument. All the so-called leaders who looted the country will face the music one by one. All right? He says, especially my senior brother, Senator Akpabio with NDDC. Madam Annie, Joy should interact with the Senate panel by Zoom. Edward, he sent that in from Port Harcourt. Well, we've got to go now. That's as much I can take this morning. Opaka Dokubo, let's start with you.
Thank you very much. Nigeria Police, we hope to hear from you so that we exactly know
what's going
on. But bottom line, let nothing, the River State governor, the police, the president, whoever is involved, should ensure that nothing stops this investigation and that at the end of the day, we get to the root of all that's happening in the NDDC so that the people of the Niger Delta will be rest assured that indeed their money is working, will work for them.
All right, then.
That's what I want.
Thank you so much. He's a former chairman, NUJ River State. Thank you so much. Chief Love, okay?
Yeah, Annie, dog eat dog. No matter whatever advanced learner dictionary have said or whatever any other school of thought have said. In Nigeria here, what I understand is that ninja cannot kill a ninja. Corruption is fighting corruption. Therefore, we'll have to come together and see how we can harmonize and move on. And that is what has happened. But Nigerians are still looking forward to see that whomever that may have touched the assets of Nigeria in whichever way, if they refuse to bring the person to book today, tomorrow the law will still catch up the person, or God Almighty must intervene in one way or the other. Concerning Joy, and it is, I want to say that I've had several meetings in Abuja, and I have never left Abuja till that morning because it is less expensive for me to move that same morning. Because if you go to Abuja as at yesterday, you must have prepared to pay for hotel bills, feeding, and all the rest of things. So, and meetings, official meetings, official meetings are mainly by 10 o'clock. Exactly. And if you can get a flight of 7:45,
what happens if you're delayed?
Even if there's a delay of 1 hour.
No, there's sometimes you're delayed all the way till the afternoon.
That is sometimes.
It happens,
not all times.
But it happens. And that is why some people decide, see, I don't want any delays, and therefore I will go a day before.
This one shouldn't be a reason. Because the time of the meeting we have not even got the time of the meeting. And before the police, as to say the woman was trying to dodge away from attending the meeting. Exactly. So even if she decided not to go today, they should have given her the whole of today. Maybe by tomorrow you begin to ask
why she's not here.
So for me, whether he was there yesterday or there shouldn't be an issue at all. Therefore, I want to say that the best thing that would have happened is the governor's intervention, because ordinarily, if anything had happened to her today, the police would say we didn't send anybody there, whether it was police or not. But for now that she's still alive, let's wait to see how the police is going to react to it.
All right, we got your thoughts here. Thank you so much, Chief Love Okere, social political analyst and community leader, and Dr. Emmanuel Warner.
I think that the presidential panel on Mago's matter is timely and necessary. But what is more important is what is done to the outcome of that investigation. And for Joy's case, I think that the two wrongs cannot make a right. And it's high time we started calling on the Nigerian police to actually reevaluate their performance in terms of the fundamental human rights of Nigerians.
All right, then. Thank you so much, Dr. Emmanuel Warner, lecturer at Department of Political Science. Emmanuel Indukwe.
Well, Ibrahim Mago, do you accept what they have heaped on you? If you don't, this is the time to go to court to clear your name. As for Joy in Union, Governor Wike, thank you. Because if you hadn't gone there, nobody knows what we would have been talking about now.
Thank you so much. Do stay tuned. The world news comes up immediately.
Court, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. Whether it's happening in Port Harcourt, South South, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered. On air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. Today, 95.1 FM.
This is Today. 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News.
Hello and good afternoon. This is the World News on your premium talk radio, Today 95.1 FM for Harcourt. I am Annie Abdul Salam. In the headlines, River State Governor Nyesom Wike relocates embattled former NDDC MD Joy Nune to Government House after failed arrest by police. Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, says NDDC spent over 80 billion naira between January and July this year. States in southwest Nigeria agrees to reopen schools and conduct WAEC exams. And on the foreign scene, Spain holds memorial for almost 30,000 COVID-19 deaths. And now, the details. The former managing director of the interim committee of the Niger Delta Development Commission, Joy Nune, has thanked River State Governor Nyesom Wike for coming to save her from a possible arrest by security operatives. Governor Wike had moved Nune out of her residence at Herbert Macaulay Street, Old GRA, Port Harcourt, to Government House, Port Harcourt. Speaking to newsmen on telephone, Joy Nune said she was surprised at the invasion of her home by police officers who came without an arrest warrant.
Abbey called me after a while to say the Commissioner of Police, River, said he didn't really know about it, and that the CP was going to reach me. The CP did reach me and said he wasn't aware of what was going on. He asked that I send him the address, so I did, and then I saw the cars come in. So I asked if that was the CP, and they said yes. I said, should I come down? Fortunately, I was just wise enough. I stayed by the door. As they wanted to grab me, I just banged my door. You can't come in from the front. So I now locked the front door. I called my governor to tell my governor that this is what had happened. He said, no, I should not go anywhere, that he was on his way. Quickly, he had a shower, called me. They started trying to break down the door. Of course, it was a security door. They spent 1 hour trying to break down. They had 4 doors anyway to break through. So the governor now came. Before, when I came, I said, where's their warrant of arrest? They said they didn't have any. I said, I can't go without. Do I know you're a policeman?
The former MD of NDDC therefore thanked Governor Wike for living up to his promise to protect her from being oppressed over the corruption probe in the NDDC.
I need to see the warrant. We're not in Banana Republic. I need to see the warrant. As they wanted to come for me, I banged it. So my governor came and sent them out there. Why would you come to arrest a woman like an armed robber? They should leave the compound. My governor said I should enter the car with him. I'm safely here with my governor in Government House, Port Harcourt. I really want to thank the governor. He's really, I really don't know what to say, but my governor is a man. He's a man, and he didn't just speak the day before yesterday that nothing must happen to me. He came to my rescue. I want to say thank you very much.
Sources say Joy Nune is being invited for questioning by the police and information yet to be confirmed by the River State Police Command. The Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Godswill Akpabio Nune, have been embroiled in a war of words over allegations of corruption in the NDDC. The former MD of NDDC accused Akpabio of sexual harassment, budget padding, fraud, among others, which the minister has denied. Meanwhile, more revelations have emerged that the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, was involved in an illegal spending of over 81 billion naira between January and July 2020. The revelation was made by the Central Bank of Nigeria and the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation when they appeared before the probe committee of the House of Representatives investigating the NDDC. Auditor General of the Federation, Anthony Aini, also said the NDDC had yet to present its audited accounts for 2019 since it was due at the end of May. Also at the hearing, the Bureau of Public Procurement said it did not issue certificates of no objection to the NDDC for the procurements made by the Commission with the said 81 billion naira. The probe committee grilled representatives of the CBN, BPP, and the Office of Accountant General of the Federation, while the committee is expected to take more evidences today. In another development, the suspended acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has been released from custody after 10 days in custody. Legal representative of Magu Oluwatosin Ajaomo, confirmed this to the media in Abuja. Ajaomo, who expressed worry over the allegations leveled against Ibrahim Magu, said his arrest and detention was illegal, adding that the suspended EFCC chairman will come out victorious.
Even myself, I'm really, really worried because most of this information that are flying around in the media are just concocted and a plot to malign and damage the image of Mr. Magu. There is nothing. The issue of he was found with money. Mr. Magu doesn't sign money. He doesn't sign checks. He doesn't sign checks in the EFCC. So all this, from all the indication, it is obvious that some people are at work and they are just out to destroy Mr. Magu. But I've always been saying that Mr. Magu will come out of this thing victorious. There is nothing. No, that up till now he has not been confronted with any allegation.
On his part, presidential spokesman Femi Adesina said the invitation of Magu by the presidential panel was in the interest of the suspended EFCC boss and to avail him his right to fair hearing.
For the panel to have invited him to hear his side of the story, I can tell you on authority that before this became a public issue, the panel had been sitting for weeks. And when the panel established some grounds for Mr. Magu to be invited, the president then gave approval for him to be invited. And he was invited and he came. It will contrary to all sense of natural justice if they had turned in a report without giving him opportunity to defend himself. So I think what has happened thus far is just the right thing to do, according to law, according to justice, according to fairness, and all that is right.
The Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, had asked the suspended acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ibrahim Magu, to direct his bail application to the presidential panel. The federal government had said it was not yet safe for academic activities to resume in schools across the country. The Minister of State for Education, Chukwuemeka Nwajuba, said this while addressing newsmen at the end of in date for the 2020 WAEC. In the meantime, the 6 Southwest states have agreed to reopen schools for SS3 students to participate in the West African School Certificate Examination. The decision was taken at the virtual meeting by the Development Agenda for Western Nigeria, Dawn Commission, where commissioners, special advisors on education, and SUBEB chairmen reached an agreement to reopen schools for SS3 students to write their final examinations. The meeting also agreed on the need for Southwest states to implement a 2016 plan to establish a regional examination body akin to IJMB in the North. The said states will approach the federal government at the first instance to seek postponement of the WASC by at least 3 weeks from the proposed resumption date. The meeting also called on WAEC to encourage computer-based tests in the future. The states are Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, Ondo, Osun, and Ekiti. Their decision is contrary to the position of most of the 19 northern states, which supported the federal government's decision to suspend school reopening for SS3 students due to the COVID-19 pandemic. You're listening to the World News here on Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. After the break, we'll be back with more stories. Do stay tuned.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today 95.1 FM.
Welcome back. You're still listening to the World News here on Today 95.1 FM. It's 12 minutes after 12. The people of Omokiri and Omoko communities in Alu, Ikoyi local government area of River State, who are host communities to the University of Port Harcourt, have felicitated with Professor Stephen Okodudui on his appointment as the acting vice-chancellor of Uniport. The communities in a statement by the paramount ruler of Omokiri, Eze Hassan Welewa, and the acting paramount ruler of Omoko, Chief Collins Amadi, and Prince Walu and Elder Amechi Emmanuel, who are chairman of the Community Development Committee of the two communities, said the appointment of Professor Stephen Okodudu is a clear testimony of his friendliness with the university communities. The statement said the people of the two host communities believe that the appointment will usher in unity and reconciliation among the university host communities, school management, and students that will push the university forward. According to the statement, the people of Omokiri and Omooko, while assuring the acting VC of their necessary support in repositioning the university, prayed God to guide him ahead of the enormous task. Two suspected kidnappers identified as Osondo Ichendu and Amebulem Amos have led operatives of anti-kidnapping unit of the River State Police Command to where he and his gang kidnapped and murdered one of their victims in Alesa community in Eleme local government area of the state. The five-man gang of kidnappers were alleged to have kidnapped and killed one Dinebari Gospel Eriba after collecting ransom from the family. The 25-year-old Osondo Ichendu and 23-year-old Amebulem Amos, who led the police to the forest where the decomposed body of the victim was tied to the tree, disclosed that the late 38-year-old Dinabari Gospel or local government area tied to a tree and killed after 1 million naira ransom was paid to them. One of the suspects, Susondo Ichendu, who claimed to hail from Rumekwe in Emoha local government area of the state, confessed to the crime at the forest, saying that hardship caused by the coronavirus pandemic led him to the crime.
Just decided this year, based on the coronavirus and how things hard for me and how situation of my family be full on. So as we carry the man for his bush, let me bring food for them. He bring two of him boys who they take care of the work. The misunderstanding between Ogai and him boys who they take care of the work here. I make them feed the man because the him boys still say him just want set them up. Say don't collect money, no one give them. They want to use government, set them up. So they need to feed the man and come up for the bush. And later, planted saying don't collect money, why they kill the man? Himself, I didn't invest for them, why they kill the man.
Spokesman of the River State Police Command, Nnamdi Omoni, who is a superintendent of the police, narrated how the suspects were arrested.
This is a deadly gang who have been operating within the Abloma, Apito Dele, and Eleme communities here. He was kidnapped. The matter was reported to the anti-kidnapping unit of the command, and they immediately swung into action and spread their darknet. In the course of the investigation, one of the suspects was arrested. His confession led to the arrest of another suspect. Now, the further confessions took the men led by their commander, anti-kidnapping unit, to this forest only yesterday, where they, after kidnapping the man, kept him for 5 days and then tied him to this tree, where the man eventually died, and they allowed him to rot. And his remains are still tied on the tree over there. They have all confessed, though we are still on your trail. At the end of which we'll land them up and then charge them to court.
Our correspondent Uchendu Ejo reports that the Toyota Spider belonging to the deceased was recovered by the police. 47-year-old Eromesile Mahmood from Etsako, Edo State, is now in detention at the State Criminal Investigation Department, Port Harcourt, for impregnating his 16-year-old daughter. Eromesile, who confessed to the crime in an interview with newsmen at the River State Police Headquarters, Port Harcourt, said he started defiling his daughter since she was 11. The man said he was usually under a trance or spiritual possession that drives him to defile his daughter. He said he willingly confessed to the crime and is ready to bear the consequences of his action, just as he pleaded that the baby his 16-year-old daughter is carrying should not be aborted.
Well, it's a battle that I've tried to fight over the years. It seems to me to be much bigger than me because even my daughter, what is involved in her too, I can tell. It seems to be a kind of a spiritual issue. If I go to prison, is go to liberate her, go that far. But my happiness is that I'm relieved, even as I speak to you now. I'm relieved because I'm able to come out without doubt to say the truth. Doesn't accept it. Well, I'm not a party to abortion. Whatever it is, the social welfare staffs and officials know.
And of the River State Police Command, SP Nnamdi Omoni, said the suspect will be charged to court soon. On the foreign scene, a memorial service in Spain has honored the country's 28,400 victims of coronavirus, as well as people who continue to fight the pandemic. EU heads of state joined King Felipe, Spanish politicians and health workers for the ceremony. King Felipe gathered with EU heads, Spanish politicians, and the families of victims to honor all those who have died, as well as those who continue to work against the virus. About 400 participants came to the Royal Palace in Madrid and sat in socially distanced chairs in concentric circles around the flame. People wore black face masks and placed flowers around the fire. And in sports, following the lingering transfer saga of Lille striker Victor Osimhen, the Nigerian youngster has reportedly fired his agent and appointed a new one. Close sources allege that the 21-year-old was furious with the said agent for allegedly trying to work out more bonuses for himself rather than the player. Italian outlet Football Italia are reporting that the fired agent has vowed to drag the player to court. The outlet also disclosed to Government House after an alleged failed arrest by the police. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has said the NDDC spent over 80 billion naira between January and July this year. We also told you that states in the southwest Nigeria have agreed to reopen schools and conduct WAEC exams. And on the foreign scene, you heard that Spain has held a memorial for the almost 30,000 persons that died of COVID-19 in the country. And that was the news as edited by Victor Isiama. For comments and inquiries, please call 08153418657 or 08144343502. You can send your emails to news@todayfmlive.com. You can also read our stories on www.todayfmlive.com. Do not forget, take responsibility. Please wash your hands frequently with soap on the running water. Avoid touching your face in high contact surfaces to prevent coronavirus. I am Annie Abdusalam. To have a great afternoon ahead.
This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people. Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
Today is here. Yesterday is gone and unrecoverable. Tomorrow, you don't know what it holds, right? You have today. Yes, you heard me. You have today. The indisputable truth is that today is pregnant with both good and bad. You have freely been given today as a gift to see what you will make out of it. Permit me to be positive. Permit me to sideline the negative and magnify the good. Permit me to espouse on today. Today is great. Today is wonderful.